This comic is set way in the distant future, mainly because there was a shit ton of comics that I missed, I'm assuming. But Killer Sans is long into his subordination under Nightmare, so far in fact, that he's sick of it and decides to leave. We then get a flashback of what happened after Killer killed Kara. We find that Killer actually had regrets over his actions, wanting to truly reset and take himself out for what he had done. So one final time he met his brother, telling him he'd be going away forever and apologizing to him before leaving to reset and delete himself. But the man of the hour comes and forcibly recruits him for whatever reason. Damn. All this started because he got kidnapped. Nightmare would then force Killer to do his dirty work for many years until he came across someone called Color Sans. That's gonna be a whole nother video on its own with niche RAUs like Bird Tail and Dancer Tail, but basically Color convinces Killer to live for himself, and so finally Killer revolts. Color Sans joins and helps him escape, and they live happily ever after. Damn, so this would happen yonks after like Underverse, Ultra and Murder Time Trio if it was all connected. That's pretty cool to think that it has an ending. Anyway, pretty cool comic. A little anticlimactic that Killer was just kidnapped by Nightmare, but that seems to be a theme with this AU. So back to my confusion. The comic that gives me the most confusion is where we learn about the two timelines and the Killer Sans being coded to be evil explanation. It says that in the good timeline, he killed Kara, and in the bad timeline, he joined Nightmare. Do you see my confusion? What I've heard is he killed Kara, then joins the bad Sanses. This is why I'm assuming it takes place in one big timeline. Alternatively, the two timeline splits after Killer makes his decision to leave Nightmare. One where he does and one where he doesn't. But that's just headcanon from me. So between that theory and the one timeline theory, I'm gonna go with the one timeline theory and kind of just ignore this one comic altogether. But another reason why I want to ignore this comic is the changing Sans' code explanation. If his code was changed, why does he go on about wanting to try something new after an eternity of resets? That's such a character-driven explanation that just makes sense, but I'm led to believe it's just his changed code trying to justify his actions. No, that's lame. It also contradicts him wanting to kill Kara and go back to the way things were before. That's why I just ignore that one comic. I don't know. Let me know what you all think down below. Now, we have one member of the Murder Time Trio left, but